lives immersed in church culture, we want to share our experiences with other men who are willing to listen. We'll talk life stuff, church stuff, man stuff, and, well, stuff. Let's get to it.
Greetings, listeners here and there and everywhere, all across the land. This is the Men Church Stuff Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, DJ Colt, as always, here with my beloved brother-in-law, Brad Coleman. Brad, what's up, man?
Just enjoying this extreme heat of the sun temperatures. Pretty sure it's surface of the sun outside.
It's close. Yeah.
Or as I shared on a post on Facebook, it's hotter than a steel chainsaw in an Eastern Kentucky pawn shop out there.
um, so I would argue that it's not the temperature of the sun, obviously, because it's not, but metaphorically, Brad, we have listeners in Australia, New Zealand, and Africa. I don't know how much room we have to talk.
Oh, so it's winter like for them basically.
Oh, okay.
Not that
Well then,
it's
yeah, it's
just
the surface
winter
of the
for
sun.
them now, but like this is winter for them. They're like, oh,
Yeah, okay.
it's
Um,
like almost 100 degrees. And I mean, if they're on like the other, centigrade scale, they're going to be like, oh, yeah. I mean, you guys are dying. Like, how are you guys even alive?
yeah.
You're boiling.
Centigrade. Yeah, we're on centigrade. That's right. We don't do Fahrenheit. It's 100 degrees. We actually use Kelvin. It's 100 degrees Kelvin.
Entire world is gone.
That's right. Um, so listeners, if you've been keeping up with the show, um, it is summer break for me. Brad is summer not break, but spending more time with his family doing family stuff.
Mm.
And so Brad, I bought a truck,
Yep.
which I love. The kids the kids love it so much that Shara's vehicle is now like the we have to ride in mom's car,
Yeah. It's just lame.
um it's just lame. That's right. It's a mom mobile now, so dad's got the cool ride and mom
Yep.
has the soccer mom vehicle. um but dude, um I've still been plugging away at like just keeping up with house maintenance stuff, the outside house maintenance stuff. Um, and I installed another light upstairs. Got to hang drywall. It's been the first time I've hung drywall in a long time. I'm curious, have you ever hung drywall?
I've not mudded, whatever the term is. I've not mudded drywall, but I've hung drywall.
Yeah,
Like
see, I
I've done
hung.
like usually growing up when my parents built a couple rooms on, and then I've done some mission trips where we were doing some construction.
Yeah,
But like, yeah, I can put those screws in there, hold that board, but typically let people that know more what they're doing
yeah, yeah,
do the
dude. And
mudding.
I've never mudded before. Now, the spot that I have to mud, I sent it to you over text that it's not a lot, it's certainly not a big project.
Yeah.
But it's definitely gonna be new for sure. Um, but Shara is gonna be out of town starting tomorrow, so I've got the three kids from tomorrow until Sunday. Um, she's gonna go up to Michigan and help her folks pack the house. They're gonna do a yard sale. Um, I don't know if I said this to you or if I said this to the listeners, um, but my in-laws are gonna move back down to the Kentucky area Western Kentucky, it would have cost them, with what they currently had, it would have cost them $21,000 to move.
Hmm.
And they came to the conclusion that the stuff that they own, when I say it's not worth that much, not just emotionally, but monetarily, it is actually not worth $21,000. So they're
Yeah.
going to sell everything they got for the most part. And when they get to where they're going, they're just going to buy more of all of that stuff for less money.
Yeah.
So she's going to go up. She's going to go up to Michigan and help them with like a yard sale.
So
But
it'd be like if they have any old toys that they're looking to get rid of.
oh, dude, yeah, I'll pass that along.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I don't. So knowing Stuart, I think he knows at least at least intrinsically. I think he knows the value of those old toys.
Mm.
So I don't know if he would be willing to part with them.
Yeah.
But
I think it's
if
like if you're gonna sell them to somebody for like $1 a piece, please let it be me.
dude,
Yeah.
actually, since we're talking about that,
Yeah.
one of the things that Sharon and I were discussing, I'm gonna this week I'm gonna do pressure washing, and then I'm actually going to empty our attic
Mm.
and reorganize it. And we've had this since we got married. Cher's had it obviously since long before that, and I don't remember when her parents started doing this and when they ended. But once a year, they started buying Shara like the holiday Barbie.
Mm.
So she's got like a bunch of them in totes, completely unopened. Um, would you be able to tell me if they're worth anything? Like,
Yep.
is it like, have you come across anything like
No,
that
I mean,
before?
I'd have to look it up, but I definitely can look it up and get
Okay.
back to you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I told Shara, I was like, don't, it just popped into my mind the other day. I said, what if rather than us try to figure out what to do with them, what if we had Brad look into it? Um, and she said that's a good idea. She hadn't thought about it either. So
Yeah. I only
um
charge like $200 an hour for my advice.
$200 an hour for your advice. Listeners, you owe us a lot of money.
Yeah.
Just kidding. We're so grateful that you
Yeah.
listen to us. So as again, if listeners, if you've been listening to the show, you'll know that we've been doing a mini series. Today is the last part of our first mini series on marriage.
Brings us together today.
It's today is love languages.
Mhm.
uh this not to say that the other ones weren't fun, but I think love languages, I think it's always one that's going to get like couples kind of like snarkily laughing.
Mhm.
So here we go. Brad, opening question. How long did you go in your marriage before you knew your love language and Tabitha's love language?
So we just really took the love language test and kind of, I think, fully understood some of that stuff within the last 5 years since we've been here.
No
And
way. Oh, wow.
yeah, so and it was again, I've said this to so many people, so it may be on a podcast and I've probably told you, but
Yeah.
Tabby, one of her languages that the way she shows love is like gifts, special gifts.
Hmm.
And so, she would get me these gifts when she would find this stuff and, she'd bring me some cool socks or, little Transformer Optimus Prime, something she saw and found. Yeah, and that's great. Like, it's not that I don't like those because I do,
Hmm.
but that's not one of my love languages. Like
Sure.
receiving gifts is not one of my top love languages. For me, it's, you know, um, physical touch and words of affirmation. And so after we took that, and she looked at me at one point and said, "So what you're saying is you would rather me come home from work, sit down in your lap, and tell you you're an awesome dad and an awesome husband, Yes, every single time, all day, every day. That
Yeah.
would fill me up 10 times more. Like, and again, it's not that I didn't understand that she was showing me her love, and it
Right.
was great, and it was great. I mean, it's like, I mean, she still does that sometimes, and I like it. It's not like I dislike it. But like, if we're
No,
talking
don't
about,
buy me any more presents.
it was, you um,
I don't take well to
but
gifts. What are you, out of your mind?
but if we're talking about, right, like like every time, if that's the choice,
Hmm.
you, you hugging me or giving me a kiss or sitting on my lap and encouraging me, or you buying me a gift, it's going to be the physical touch and the words of affirmation every time.
Hmm.
Every time I'll take that
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
And so again, like just that acknowledgement. I think on some level, again, we were married for quite a long time, so I think we knew that, but at the same time, we didn't know that.
Yeah.
Because again, that's one of the things that she receives with special gifts and acts of service, your sister. So, she's sharing love or seeking to share love the same way that she receives love.
Mm.
And so, and again, I can recognize that, but it doesn't fill up my tank as much as just impromptu, just come up behind me and hug me, or,
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
her, not you, DJ, just for the
yeah.
record. Just to
Brad,
clarify that, please don't come up
Brad,
behind me and hug me. That will not, that's a totally
Brad,
different sensation.
I see you. I acknowledge you.
All right.
I,
Thank you.
I
See,
love you,
words of
Brad.
affirmation. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but I mean, so just really last 3 to 5 years, somewhere in there, when we somebody else had done it, and I realized that you could do it on the app or whatever, and
Yeah, right.
and it was like, oh yeah, no, this is, and so it was good because one of the things I love about the love languages is they're a jumping off point for deeper conversation and a
Hmm.
deeper understand. So, what about you and Shara?
Um, yeah. So we actually, it was in Murray. I think, Brad, if it wasn't year two, it was year three. I don't, I'm pretty sure it was not year one that, the church that we were attending, in Murray, that we did the love languages.
Yeah.
We went through the book, we did the test, and I think we went, I can't remember if you do it the way it's supposed to be done. I can't remember if you're supposed to take the quiz and then read the book, or if you read the book and then you take the quiz. I feel like you read the book and then take the quiz. But I already knew that mine was going to be physical touch. Absolutely. I mean,
Mhm.
there's no question. Um, what I did not expect, Brad, is that my second one is also words of affirmation. I thought mine was going to be, gifts. And what's the, I'm trying to remember what the official term is for gifts. Um,
Yeah, I
Gift
was like, we,
giving
we
or
should we should we should probably like, if we're
yeah,
talking about
yeah,
this, maybe we
sorry.
should let everybody know, hey, these are what.
What,
So
Brad, let our listeners know, what are the love
so
languages?
the five love languages: words of affirmation,
Hmm.
quality time, acts of service,
Hmm.
gifts, and physical touch.
Okay.
Now, each one of them has, kind of a breakdown. And I encourage you to just do a quick Google search and you can look them up. But one of the things about gifts is it's the oftentimes it's not necessarily just the gift itself, but it's the thought behind the gift. And
Sure. Yeah.
not that like, oh, I I had this laying around and I gave it to you.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. But it's, oh, hey, somebody gave this to me, and man, it just reminds me so much of you. And every time I look at it, and it's like, oh, she's just, or he's just got to have this. And,
Right. Right.
so either I went out and got you one, or, oh man, I'm just going to give you the one I have because it's just you. And so some of
Yeah.
it's,
So I I have like the child in me really
yeah,
has never left. I mean, I always love getting gifts. Um, Oddly enough, probably in the last, I don't know, dude, maybe 5 or 7 years of my life,
mhm,
I have gotten more out of the, like, anything just sheer random
mhm,
to things that things I can do something with, or things
Yeah.
that as you mentioned, like really matter. Like, so let me give you, for instance, um, for Father's Day, excuse me, for Father's Day, Addie was absolutely dying to get me some movies. So so she gave me a couple movies. She also wanted very desperately to get me a box of M&Ms. Now, number one, I love M&Ms, but this gift meant so much to me because Addie's favorite candy are M&Ms. And
Hmm.
so like that was massive to me, that she wanted to get me her favorite candy. So like, that kind of thing are things that I really enjoy getting. But again, to my surprise, gifts weren't a love language.
Hmm.
Words of affirmation were. And I distinctly remember this, that when Cher and I took that quiz, it began to make sense to me that I long for verbal affirmation, verbal approval.
Yeah.
And when I say verbal approval, even verbal disapproval, like not like, hey DJ, you're a moron, shut your mouth, but like, did I do something right? Did I
Hmm.
do something wrong? Like, let me know if there's something that needs to be fixed. If there's something that I need to tweak, because to me, that is an affirmation of something that I can accomplish, right? That to me, that's something that I can tweak. Now I know that's like a negative spin on it. But Shara's, I distinctly remember being confused about.
Hmm.
Hers are acts of service and quality time. I was so confused as to um just sitting on the couch
Hmm.
doing nothing was special to her, because I was
Yeah.
like, and I still am to a certain extent a busybody.
Hmm.
I want to do stuff. I want to in like get up and move, right? Um, but acts of service was something that I didn't know what to do with.
Hmm.
And if I'm honest, when I really started to think about it, it was, so DJ, you do need to get up and do something, but you need to get up and do something for her and sacrifice what you want to do that would be fun for you, so
Hmm.
that she can feel like she's loved. And like, and I like internally, I really kind of fought against that,
Yeah.
because I wanted my cake and to eat it too.
Hmm.
So, but
Well,
we did that
and
early
it,
on in our
yeah.
marriage. So,
Yeah.
so Brad, in contrast to you guys,
Mhm.
we've known what our love languages have been for the last,
Yeah.
what, 11 years or so.
Yeah. Well, and it again, it's helpful. I think it's definitely not an end all get all. I pulled mine up, by the way, and it's been a little while.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, so mine's almost a three-way tie: physical touch, quality time, words of affirmation.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Now here's the interesting thing: receiving gifts and acts of service are like bottom, like 7% receiving gifts, 3% acts of service. But yet, I tend to show my love that way, especially
Yes.
with acts of service
Yeah.
and special gifts. Now, the good thing about that is that's how my wife receives love. Again,
Mm,
primarily receiving gifts and acts of service,
yeah.
and so that works well on my end uh, for us. But yeah, so I completely understand. Shara, let's just be here with me. Just be here
Yeah.
with me,
Yeah.
because there's times when I just want to have you to be in the room. Like I don't even want to necessarily be doing anything like with you right now. I
yeah.
just want you
Right.
to be present
Right.
while I'm doing my thing and you're doing your thing. You know,
Yeah.
just
Well, if there was a turning point in our marriage, and I think I've said this on the show before, but if there's a turning point in our marriage that really began to change our relationship, if this makes any sense internally, so the connection, if you will, that Shara and I have, um, the way, and in definitely running in tandem with our topic, like the way that we not just show love but experience love, there was something in our marriage that really began to shift that dynamic when I know I've said this on the show before, that in marriage there are two things that are eternal until you die, and that's dishes and laundry. Um, and when Noah was born, our first, I realized that not only was Shara going to make sure that the laundry was done and that the dishes were done, but now she's also mothering, right? And like
Mhm.
not just mothering, but listeners, for those of you who have kids, like it's not just mothering. This was first time mothering where it's like the rule book is 785,000 pages long, and you've got to make sure that every single rule is checked. And so like when Noah was first born, she was she was running herself rampant. And the reason I say that is because I wasn't doing anything to
Yeah.
help alleviate either two of those eternal things. Now, I don't want to do laundry and she doesn't want me to do the laundry. So I
Yeah.
was like, that's a no-go. And I told her one day, we were all so we were already in Tennessee. I was working at Bethel at the time. Um, and um, and I told her, stop doing the dishes. I don't want you to do the dishes anymore. And dude, it was tough for me
Mhm.
to pick up that chore. But the more that and when I say the more that um more I washed the dishes and kind of kept up with the kitchen, and that was 7 years ago. So the last 7 years, and it has taken every bit of 5 to 5.5 of those 7 years to begin to really fully understand
Mhm.
how deeply it means to her that I wash the dishes.
Yeah.
Because to me, it's just a stupid chore. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if so, Brad, if you were to come over and wash our dishes for me,
Mhm.
I would just be like, okay. I
You're like,
mean,
that's weird. Why are you washing my
yeah,
dishes? Right.
like thanks, dude. I guess, like, but to her, there is something very, very intimate. There's something extremely deep about that. Um, and one of the things I love doing now is doing the dishes for her.
Yeah.
Before it was I'm going to do the dishes so she doesn't have to. I'm now to the point where I love doing the dishes for her. Some people might actually call that Stockholm syndrome. I don't care because I think they're wrong. But Shara probably laughs about it oftentimes, going, "It worked," Like,
Oh,
she cheated on the quiz.
she got you trained well. Yeah.
um
So yeah. So when we're looking at the love languages, by the
yeah
way, you can do a search, you can do it free online and do the quiz. Um, the idea behind it is to understand each other better. So it's not the Bible, but it is a guy who has, looked at a lot of relationships, a lot of people,
yeah
and done a lot of research and identified these key, elements that are, typical in people and how we are. So again, I think they're very helpful because here's one of the things that I think some couples find themselves in, um, and it can be a dangerous place, right? Because you can get in a situation where both are in their way trying to show love to their spouse.
Mm,
And they feel like they are showing love to their spouse,
yep,
but because there's a disconnect between that act and that receipt, again,
yep,
not because anybody's wrong,
right, that's
just
exactly right.
because one, we're not understanding. So there may be a spouse out there who is doing the dishes and doing the laundry and keeping them clean. Maybe that's a husband, and there's a lot of wives going, "Oh, that's the husband I want." Um, but he's doing all of this stuff, but his wife's love language is physical touch and words of
Right.
affirmation, and he's not doing that as much, but he's running himself ragged trying to show his love by, look, any other woman would
Yeah.
love this and why you don't seem to appreciate it. So in the conversation, I think the beautiful thing with the love languages is it gives you a place to say, this is my love language. This is one. Maybe I didn't even know that. This
Right.
maybe she's sitting there going, I don't even know why. Like, yeah, I know I should care more. But it's not filling her bucket.
Right.
On the other side, maybe his love language is acts of service. Because again, a lot of times what I see is people tend to show love in the way that they want to receive love.
Hmm.
Now, it's not always the case because, again, in a lot of things, I'm kind of an anomaly.
I would agree,
But
Brad.
I think that's because I get it from the way I grew up. I think my mom is real big on acts of service and
Mm,
special special gifts, whether or not she knows that or not. And
yeah.
my dad was certainly big with showing acts of service being and words of affirmation being things that he was really good at and for people.
Sure. Yeah.
And so I think so acts of service and special gifts. I think I caught that in some on some level. But there's some people, again, they're out there and they're just doing everything they can. Like, man, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted trying to show my spouse that I love them.
Yeah.
And it's just not enough. It's never right. And then you get it's never enough. It's not enough. Doesn't matter what I do. And sometimes that's because there's a disconnect because you're not speaking their language, if we can use that.
Well, no, and one of the things that I wanted to kind of tease out is if we were to like I think it's really easy, in this kind of a context of a conversation to just sort of understand that the word language in this sense is kind of like a metaphor.
Yeah.
But what if we were to actually tease out how it could be literal?
Mhm.
And if I can, it's taken me a long time to figure out how to vocalize that. And I tell this to my students, listeners. If you're new to the show, I teach music at a private Christian university in Jackson, Tennessee. And one of the things that I tell my music students is I'll ask them, have you ever heard, and I'll ask you, Brad, have you ever heard the adage that music is the universal language?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, do
I've
you
heard
know
that.
what that means?
That everybody enjoys music and it doesn't matter if there's words. I don't know.
Okay, that is actually no.
Okay.
That's what everybody thinks it
Mm,
means. Yeah, I know. I'm giving you words of affirmation,
mm,
Brad. I
sure.
see you. I hear
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I acknowledge
Thank
you.
you. So you finish what you're saying, and I
Yeah,
want to tag
yeah,
on that point.
yeah.
But
So I'll tell my students that the reason I love that phrase, but I love the phrase for a very different reason because music is it like if you when I say music, not listening to it, but if I were to actually show you music, those are just symbols of an art form that you hear. In the same way that if I were to show you like words on a page,
mhm,
those words don't do anything unless you open your mouth and talk, right? So the sound itself that you hear people the sound that you hear when people play instruments or sing, the like what is produced is in fact it is a language. Yes, we
mhm.
hear it as music and we can dance to it or whatever, but it
I don't
is.
speak it.
I know, and that's exactly right. You don't speak it. You're no, dude, you're exactly
I
right.
don't speak it.
You don't speak it, but you can hear it, right?
I can't hear it.
Like,
Yeah.
and you can connect to it. And
Yeah.
so that's why I said, if it's okay, I'd really like to tease out how the love languages are not metaphors, but let's tease out how it can actually be in like viewed as a literal word that I'm trying to love you in a language. I'm speaking
Mhm.
this as a way that I'm trying to love you, but you're misinterpreting. But
So
what were you
so
going to say?
again, language. So language, kind of in the sense of uh, another word for communication, the way that we communicate, the way that we.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the way we
Okay.
communicate. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And but like and this is just for me, this is the way my brain works. I always want to see if is it possible to even boil it down to a more specific level, it's not just the way, not just the way that we communicate, but the way that we communicate in a way that results basically in like literacy,
Mhm.
right? So for Shara wanting acts of service, I was illiterate to her wanting me to do things, right? Do things around the
Yeah.
house or be, and like I understood what she wanted, but I didn't understand why she wanted it.
Right. And the importance of it.
Yeah, or the
Yeah. How
importance of it.
much
There you go.
weight
Yeah.
that it carries. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So, Brad, to that point, um, was 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 there ever a point in time in your marriage, like specifically, where your love languages between you and Tabitha were misunderstood? Because like from the example that you gave, when Tabitha said, "So you mean to tell me that you would rather this or rather that," that almost sounds like that was in the world of the unknown.
Hmm.
But was there ever a time that you can think, or were there moments, like the essence of memories almost of of Tabitha showing you love or you showing Tabitha love, and it was misunderstood because you didn't know the love language?
Well, and again, I think for for me, as far as us showing love, I think that was, I mean, I think we've done pretty well for the most part overall. And I feel like communication is one of the things that we've always done pretty well.
Yeah,
Obviously,
good for you.
we always do it deeper, and then there's things that we've obviously miscommunicated, and as we learn more about ourselves and more about each other.
Yeah.
So let me not answer your question, but turn it just slightly.
No, it's okay.
Um, when we first got married, I was kind of from the school of thought of the woman does the housework, right?
Yeah.
So she's going to do the cooking and she's going to do the cleaning, and not that I never help, but like that's the role. Like, my mom
I'm
always,
laughing because I'm thinking about Tabitha. Yeah.
yeah. Um, Anybody that knows Tabitha is laughing right now. Like,
Yeah,
wow, that,
that's true. Yeah.
my mom always ironed my pants, and my dad's pants and everything. I mean, my mom would iron our jeans. My
Yeah.
mom was like anti-wrinkle kind of thing. And, we're first married, and it's like, um, my pants need iron. She's like, okay, there's the ironing board.
Oh gosh, dude.
Now, and here's an emotional thing, because I know how to iron because my mom taught me how to iron, but
Sure.
it's like, but I never had to.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, that's, and so especially early on, phrases like, I'm not your mom,
Yeah.
I'm not your maid, and all of those things, popped up. Now, one of the things that I know now that I didn't understand then, even though, and again, I'm not the best still at doing some of those things.
Right.
But I'm better. I do the dishes. Now, sometimes that means that there's a big stack of dishes that have been stacked up, and now, or a lot of times that's what it means. Anyway, but I do the
Yeah.
dishes. The
Yeah.
dishes. But I didn't understand back then. Again, some of that is that acts of service,
Mhm.
acts of service. So I'm
Right.
doing it all. So I'm doing all of the love giving, and you're just receiving and
Right.
nothing.
Yeah.
But no,
Yeah.
I'm
Hello. Yeah.
affirming you. You did a great job vacuuming floor. No, Tabby's listening. She said, you were not that dumb. I, I appreciate it. Yeah, no, I wasn't that dumb. Guys, please don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that. Uh-uh.
But yeah, so I think, I didn't see at first how important that was. And even really after I started doing a lot of those things, I don't think at first I saw the why.
Mm.
I just understood the why. Like, okay, if I want to be happy in this marriage, then I'm gonna have to do so. And again, your sister wasn't afraid to communicate that in her way.
which was probably just outright telling you.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
like, and again, and I think we've shared this story before. I've shared it a bunch of times, but I think it just is worth retelling. Like one time
Yeah.
I got up and I was like, I don't have any clean pants for work. And I was and I was upset. And I was like, why don't I have any clean pants for work?
Oh, Brad.
Yeah, I ask your sister. I ask your sister, why don't I have any clean
that's
pants for
awesome.
work?
How many more
Anybody-
times in your
I
life
was
have
like,
you asked
we
a
should
question
just
like
leave that
Yeah.
and be like, all right, so here's the question. What do you think? What does everybody think? What did Tabitha say?
What did
What was
Tabitha
Tabitha's
say?
response to why don't I have any pants for work?
Yeah. The fact that you're still breathing air means that she has grace and mercy in her heart.
Yes, and grace and mercy. Yeah, I'm still breathing. But I will tell you, she did not say, "Oh, I'm sorry, honey. I'll get right on that."
No, she did not.
Again, even though
my
acts of
apology.
service are one of her love languages, it's like, yeah. There's a limit to everything.
Oh.
Right. And again, we can laugh about it now. We were both very upset at the time.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Because I was like, you have wronged me. I didn't say that, but that's the way I'm feeling. Like you have not done your wifely duty and
your wifely duty.
Washed my pants. But I can tell you, I wore dirty pants to work that night.
I'm sure you did. Yeah.
Did a little Johnny Cash and, go to the closet, find your cleanest dirty shirt.
That's
cleanest dirty pair of pants. Went to work. And you know what? I never asked her that question again to my knowledge.
I can't, good for you. I'm glad. Yeah. So Shara doesn't have, or no, well, she kind of does now, but it has taken her a while to be okay with it. Mm-hmm. When we first got married, she really didn't have a passive aggressive nature as a wife. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, you've known Shara for a while. She can be sarcastic and she can be passive aggressive, but only around people, A, that she knows, and B, if she's having a good time. It's her way of just kind of perpetuating fun. Yeah. For us, and I'm trying to think of something like really specific. Okay, so she would tell me something. She would say something to the effect of, it looks like we have a lot of dirty dishes. Mm-hmm. And because I didn't want to do the dishes, I would just go on. Yeah. So this is Cher's personality. Okay, fine. If he's not going to do it, I will. Mm. And then she would hold that against me.
Right.
Yep. But she would do it internally. So she's got this reservoir of, I hate DJ because, or admit, not obviously not hate, but I'm upset at DJ because, and then I had to like pulling teeth, get the truth out of her as to why she was upset. Because I would say, "Are you okay?" And she would say, "Yeah, I'm fine." Is something wrong? No.
Look. And this is rule number one. Rule number one, guys, like in the man, understand women code. I know we don't, but in what we have learned over these years, if a woman says she is fine, 99.9% of the time, she ain't fine.
No.
And you are really close to not being fine either. That language is different. If she says fine, don't go hunting, don't go fishing, don't go to the store. My advice is, honey, I'm sorry for whatever it is.
Whatever it is that I did. Are you, and then say, "Are you fine now that I've apologized?" Okay, now I'm gonna go golfing,
no.
Yeah. So, let me ask you this. This was a question that popped in my mind because I always love thinking about these kind of sort of umbrella questions, right?
Mm.
So the love languages. What is
Mhm.
it? Gary Chapman. So Gary Chapman wrote the book Love Languages. And listeners, if you haven't ever read it, seriously, as Brad mentioned, you need to go read it and go do the quiz. If you haven't done it, figure out what your love language is, figure out what your spouse's
Mhm.
love language is. Um, listeners, like if even if you guys are single, at
Mhm.
least find out
Yeah.
what your love languages are. I mean, how is it that you show love? But when I sat back and like, you know, wrote out the questions and we thought about the topics, I constantly, Brad, kept coming back to, so these love languages, like the book anybody can buy.
Mhm.
So let me ask you this. How has love languages shaped your, not just your marriage, but with Tabitha, but your marriage as like Christians?
Mhm.
Because like it's almost like, well, I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to word this, but like if anybody can go read the book, whether they believe in
Mhm.
Jesus or not,
Mhm.
like they'll glean something
You can, well, I
useful
mean,
out
you
of
can
it.
also do that with the Bible, by the way, and I
I mean,
encourage it.
that's true. Yeah, yeah.
Even if
No,
you
you
don't
can't.
believe in Jesus, I encourage you
It's-
to read the Bible.
that's true, right?
You can do that. It's God's okay with you reading His book.
God is okay with you reading his
He
book. That's
would
right.
love to know you and have you know Him, and it's a good way to start. I mean, no. I mean, but just open it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So how has, because I don't know, man, to me, there's something that's so wonderful about how Jesus makes everything that it really is accessible to anybody
yeah.
better and deeper and
Yeah.
stronger.
Well, I mean, the book of John brings out God's love so much, and Jesus commissions the apostles to love one another, even as I have loved you, love one another. But again, another reason I love the book of John, the Gospel according to John, is just so many interactions that Jesus has with people, and
Yeah.
Jesus is showing love. He's showing love, like so. His interaction with Nicodemus. He's
Hmm.
saying that with love, his interactions. I mean, even as hard as it may seem, to he's turning over the tables. He's doing that in love. Um,
Right. It's true.
and again, we don't have time to really mesh that out. But I think so we know that God has called us to love, and God has called us to love our wives like Christ loved the church, and He gave Himself for her.
Yeah.
Right. So we're to give ourselves. Well, part of us giving ourselves is is us taking the time to know our wife,
That's right.
to study our wife, to
Yeah.
date our wife. It's something I got to remind myself of because there's times when I'm like, I've probably not been doing a really good job at this
Right.
lately of taking that time to make sure that filling I'm filling her bucket.
Yeah.
Um, but but I got to know what her bucket is.
Yeah.
I got to know what if it, what is it that she likes that fills that bucket? Because again, I can run myself ragged and be using all of this energy and not be connecting. And how does that make me feel? It makes me feel discouraged. Makes me feel like, oh, maybe you know, she's not appreciating him, and then we can turn those things over to anger and bitterness. And I think I really do think that there's a lot of people that end up divorced because they don't understand how each other really shows love. Now, I mean, there's a lot of other things,
Dude, no, I would agree.
but I think
Um,
counseling with people. Because here's the thing too, I want to touch on before we're done.
yeah, go
Um,
ahead.
uh, when you look at the love languages,
Yeah.
one of the things that it also helps you identify is the opposite. Right. So someone whose love language is words of affirmation
Hmm.
is probably going to hit harder when someone is tearing them down with words.
Oh, dude, Dude, that's profound. I don't think
So
that I've actually thought about the love languages from the negative.
yeah, so
Yeah.
they're going to hurt more. So when you are using words to tear them down, whether
Right.
you mean to or not, or somebody else does, maybe just somebody they passed, they accidentally pulled out in front of somebody, or they did something stupid, or maybe that wasn't even their fault, and somebody's
Right.
mad, you're an idiot. That's gonna hit harder for someone who's words of affirmation. So look at the quality time. If you know if you don't have time for me, or no, I don't have time for that.
Right.
And man, if your quality time and words for affirmation, and someone goes, "Yeah, I don't have time to go hang out with you," man, that's a double whammy.
Yeah,
That's
right.
like
You just killed two birds.
oh,
Yeah.
I gotta, I suck.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah,
so I think
seriously. Wow.
those it's important to look at those. And again, you can go through each of them, but I think again, most of us are intelligent enough to look at them, and you can say, all right, now that you've pointed that out, I can do that. I can go, oh, not only is it a lack of this thing, but if the opposite is true,
Mhm.
um, then that's more hurtful.
Yeah.
Um, and
And
you may
I
not realize it. You may not realize, because maybe you're not words of affirmation. Maybe that's really low on your list.
right.
So again, you're like, of course that wouldn't hurt. No, I mean, we were just joking around. And this is what I tell people, like, you gotta be careful when you're joking.
Right.
Like I always, as a youth pastor, my thing was, look, because we're gonna joke with the kids. They're gonna be sarcastic, we're gonna be sarcastic. Never make fun of their bodies. Never make fun of their physical anything.
No.
I don't care if they come in and their hair looks, like, wow, why in the world would you do that? You're going to regret this
Yeah.
later. Like, you don't do that. Because those are places. So I want you to study the people so that you can see how they get hurt deeply and make sure you protect against that. And I think, again,
Yeah.
in marriage, so when that's the case, I'm gonna I'm gonna need to protect my wife sometimes
Right.
from other people, from some of.
Yeah.
Now, it
Yeah.
should always be on a level of, I don't care who you are. Words of affirmation could be at the bottom of your list, and you're still going to matter when people are being critical of you. But it may
Right.
matter. It's probably going to matter a lot more if that's what, if somebody just put a hole in your bucket.
Yeah.
They didn't splash it out. I mean, they just drill a hole in the bottom.
Yeah.
We got to do some repair, learn how to weld
I was just thinking of
metaphorically.
a plastic bucket. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
weld a
Well,
plastic
I mean,
bucket to make it, get it worse. Yeah. So dude, seriously, I think you hit the nail on the head. I'm right on board with the idea of serving one another
mhm,
as as a couple. I'm to serve my wife. My wife is to serve me.
yeah.
Not the way that the world has taught us to think about that phrase.
What's given?
Um
It's not something we take. We don't take from
that's
each
right.
other.
Yeah,
It's something that we
yeah,
give to. It's a free given gift.
that's
And
right.
and that's the difference. It's not like, oh, go do this. Like I am not my wife's boss. I know that, she knows that.
Yeah.
She's not my boss.
And
But
she's
we're in
not
this
my boss. That's
yeah.
right.
And she's
Yeah.
also not your boss. Um,
Your wife is not my boss. That's right.
yeah.
But she would like to think so. And she would be wrong. And then you could tell her to shut up. So,
Yeah. Y'all can have that conversation later. I feel like it's an A and B conversation and I should see myself out
you
of it.
should see your way out of it. Um,
My
so
daddy always said, DJ, my daddy always said, if you don't have any dogs in the fight, stay on the porch.
that's right. Yeah.
Just some good country wisdom.
Thank you. So, but no, I think that love languages has helped Shara and I in a Christianly way
Yeah.
as a way to serve each other,
Mhm.
not just to keep our marriage healthy. Um, like I one of the ways that I think it's interesting, and I certainly don't want to, I mean, we're running low on time. I certainly don't want to try to unpack something that I think has this much depth to it, but
Yeah.
something that I see the love languages having done in our marriage is it gave us a vehicle for Christ to deepen our relationship with each other, it wasn't the ends, it was the means,
Mhm.
right? The end, whether we were aware of it or not, the end was that Christ brought us closer together because we were, as you mentioned, we were sacrificing whatever it was on our end so that we could speak said person, the other person's language. Um, and dude, you mentioned, that part of your job and part of my job as husbands is to like protect our wives. Our love languages, whether we choose to enact a love language or hold back from a love language,
Mhm.
it definitely helps us better protect their hearts, and she protect my heart. And and obviously the more people that try to invade where I would be speaking that love language, it's gonna cause a lot more damage, as you mentioned,
Mhm.
poke a hole in the bucket.
Mhm.
But no, I think you're right on.
Yeah,
So
and here's the other thing that it just hit me.
yeah.
Sometimes you can be filling your wife's bucket or wives, if you listen to your husband's bucket, and their bucket may be getting filled and it's awesome, but you don't feel like you're filling it because you're not doing it the way that it
Mm,
feels right. Like, oh, but
right.
I'm an acts of service person, but he needs physical touch. And so I feel like I haven't served him enough. So let me give you this example. Tabby usually goes to bed before I do.
Hmm.
Usually when I crawl into bed, one of the things that my wife does most nights is she puts her feet on my legs.
Mm,
And that is one of the things I love. That's physical touch. It fills my bucket.
okay.
I don't even know that I've told her that how much that means to me, how much that comforts me, how much
Yeah.
that makes me feel loved and all of these things. Just that little thing. And some people may not like it. And that means so much more to me than if I had a dresser full of things that she bought me.
Right.
Like, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah.
But I know that sometimes she thinks that she's not. Like, I'm not, because she's voiced that. Like, I'm not loving you enough, or am I showing you love enough?
Right.
I'm
Right.
like, yeah, like, look, I get in bed and you put your feet on me, and it just reminds me over and over again that I would get up and fight the dragon that comes into the front yard.
Hmm.
And it gives me just the oomph and all that. I mean, like, I just get up and grab my sword. Let's go.
Right.
Because, because yeah. And so I think those are important things,
Well,
but have those
and it,
conversations.
yeah, I was about to say the point that I think our listeners should really take away from that is the open communication about things that, like us being able to explain not the basic, I'm going to get dorky here, not the basic vernacular of our love
Mhm.
languages, but like the nuance of our love languages,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
the Tabitha, if you've never told her that, I mean, I know she's in the room right now, so now she
Mhm.
knows. But like, if she wasn't right, and you had never said that,
Yeah.
she may very well not be aware that
Mhm.
that is a part of your vernacular,
Yeah.
even though that particular love language is not, one of your primaries. And so, yeah, like it opens the line of communication for us to be able to voice what we do and what we kind of
Mhm.
don't care about, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's bring that one to a close, man.
All right.
Listeners, there you
I
have
love
it.
language you.
We love language you, Brad. I see you. I hear
Yeah.
you. I acknowledge you.
Thanks, TJ.
You're welcome. I'm here to serve, Brad. That's what I'm here to help. Yeah. Listeners, we love that you love our show. Thank you so much for tuning in, hanging out with us. We hope that this has at least been helpful. Some of the thoughts they're not groundbreaking. Brad and I very intimately draw near to Solomon's there is nothing new under the sun.
Yeah,
So there's so like
We're just copy and pasting all
we're
these things
just
that
copy and
we've heard.
pasting. That's
See?
right.
Their database has just got bigger, all right? So we're trying to share
That's
it.
right. Yeah. So share the show. You know what to do. Rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. Give us 5 stars. Let us know how we're doing. Put a review up there for other people to read. Let us know what you think about the show. Let other people know what you think about the show. For anybody that's thumbing through, wanting to know what kind of podcast to listen to next, have a review ready for them to read, to make them think, well, this might be worth my time, and then let them figure out, maybe it's not. But
Yeah.
but
I got punked.
yeah. They got punked.
We're okay with
Listeners,
being the next Rick Roll.
that's right. The next Rick Roll. That's awesome. Listeners, again, we love you guys. Brad, love you, man.
Love you too. We'll see ya.
We will catch you next time.